I'd like to introduce, without further ado, our new head of school, Chris Gunnin, and current parent, member of the Board of Trustees, and my friend for going on 11 years, Evan Smith.
What specifically about this place elevates it or makes it different from just any garden variety Episcopal school?
It certainly was the culture of this school, the soul of this school, the individual people that I met at this school that I really came to love very quickly. But I had to think about this not just in terms of where do I want to be, but where could I be successful? I think the work that I have done as a division head in 2 schools, taking existing programs and helping them achieve a higher level of success and finding some innovative programs and opportunities, I think that makes me a good fit with this school at this time in its history. Right. When I was a middle school student and an upper school student, I had teachers that got me so excited about learning, that got me so excited about the idea that I might have something meaningful to contribute to the world. I was surrounded by classmates who had an extraordinary high level or standard of excellence, and so I was inspired by them as well. And some of the most important lessons I learned first through athletics or the arts, and then applied them to the classroom and became an even better student. The experience that I had there positioned me for the rest of my life. And I see that same type of experiences and the same ingredients to that here already on a daily basis. The commitment and the price that was paid to integrate St. Stephen's in 1961, that was an important, bold, and courageous decision. But that's just when the work started. We've got to make sure that students from all different, and families from all different backgrounds have access to our campus and to our programs. Right. But there's real work to do once they're here. The earlier that students can be surrounded by people who look differently, who think differently, who worship differently, who maybe come from different neighborhoods, and the more they're coached and guided by loving, careful adults on how to have conversations with other people who are different than them, the more likely they are to grow up to be the kinds of leaders in the world that will make our world a better place. We're going to create a community where we can learn from one another and not be scared of one another, and we can see our differences as opportunities to bring different lenses to a conversation about how to solve complex problems in the world. That's the kind of school that our world needs. The ways that are most important to me that we live into our Episcopal identity are these. First, that our students worship through the structure of morning prayer in a non-sectarian chapel, where the dignity of every human being is appreciated and valued. The second thing then is the belief in a really strong education. And that's part of the Episcopal Church, that it is through academic exploration or the development of our intellects that we can come to better know God's world and know our place in God's world. And I think part of what great independent schools do, and it certainly aligns with our Episcopal identity, is that you help students understand the meaningful work that they can do in the world. You invite them to exciting adult lives. All of the students should see in their head of school the values and the mission of the school being actualized. You know, I think they should see in me an example of a caring and committed leader. I think they should see in me someone who knows them and loves them. I think they should see in me a person of character and a person who cares about the school deeply. My hope is that they will remain connected to the school for the rest of their lives, and that they have the kinds of experiences here that compel them to come back often and compel them to stay connected to the school. And I think that perhaps after a 20-year relationship with the school or a 30-year relationship with the school, I would hope that they could come to understand the impact that I had in this community and why I mattered to them personally. Because I do need to focus on the long-term strategic plan of the school, the long-term growth of the school, and that's part of what takes me away from direct contact with students. So my hope is that in 20 years, they look back and have a handful of positive memories with me directly, but also can see how the school helped them become the best versions of themselves while I was their head.
Right.
And how I helped the school become the best version of itself over my tenure here.